I'm fine with going a bit slower, folks. It's not really a problem at all. But just going back to what you were talking about, Shane, what is it that you say that you can't see or can see?
So I've got the task page, access control project, which you said to go to. I've got Cisco Packet Tracer open, but mine is just clear. I've got none of these little PCP1, etc. Whatever it's called.
What is it that you say that you can't see or can see?
How do I get that on my page?
Yeah, I understand that. So there is a link to on here, which you can kind of see. Can you see where my mouse is?
Yeah, I can see your mouse.
That's it. Right there. If you click on that, that will bring the network up into Packet Tracer. In fact, you don't need Packet Tracer open at all. If you click on this, it'll open Packet Tracer up and load that network into the window for you. Ready to go.
Okay, that's just downloaded straight away. Is that right?
Just click on it. It'll open up. It should just... Oh, okay, so if you click on it, you should have a little option that says open or save. Just click on open and it will open it up like this inside here. And then you also need this document here open as well, because this is what we're relying on to fulfill all the kind of evidence that we need for this assignment here.
Right, it's not opening for some reason.
Okay. Do you have any handouts for this, or is it just that document there?
So it's just basically this. I do have handouts for the next assessment, because the next assessment is kind of quite complex. But I thought this was kind of this one here, folks, is kind of. I thought we'd be able to demolish this in an hour, because it's kind of pretty straightforward, really. I'll go a little bit slower. I'll go a bit slower on this. And I think what's causing the problems is because we've all got different kinds of issues with either packet tracer or memory problems or some strange stuff with the networks not being able to load up and so on. So because there's so many different kinds of technical problems, that's kind of holding us back.
Yeah.
You know.
But go on.
Sorry, someone talking or?
That was me muttering saying go on, because I'm agreeing with all you're saying.
Okay. All right. Okay, folks, I'll go a little bit slower. All right. So what do we do here? And my apologies. If for those of us who just want to rush ahead by all means. Don't let me stop you. So we'll just start this again. Here we have PC1, and what we're going to do with PC1. We've just established the fact that PC1 cannot ping PC2 because PC2 has not been configured properly. That's a problem with it. And so let's then go to PC1 again. So just click on PC1, click on PC1, click on PC1. Once we've clicked on PC1, then we'll go to desktop. We'll choose the desktop menu. Once we've chosen desktop, we will go across to the command prompt, which is the fourth one along from the top. So desktop, command prompt. We'll click the command prompt here. Yeah. And we will type in the command ping and then the IP address of PC2. So we will type in ping space, literally hit the space bar, 192.168.1.5. Ping space 192.168.1.5. And when you do that and hit the enter key, you'll notice that we get all of this stuff here with 100% loss of all the data, because
you put
the reason
oh god.
Everyone okay?
Mine is coming back as it says pinging with 32 bytes of data, and then it says time request timed out 3 times.
That's right. Am I still sharing my screen? So you should get this.
Yeah.
That's absolutely fine, and it will do that. So this is correct. And so what we want to be able to do here, we want to be able to screen grab this or screenshot it Yeah, so we're going to go down to where it says search down here at the bottom, in the taskbar at the bottom, and type in snipping or SNIP. Just go grab that snipping tool if you're on a Windows machine. Can't support you on a Mac, folks, don't know how to do it. So just choose the snipping tool like this. Yeah, and this window here will come up. So choose the snipping tool, just go down to search, type in SNIP. The snipping tool will pop up, and then choose new. Choose new. Yeah, the screen will go kind of slightly opaque, and what we'll do, you can see I've got that cross here that's come up. It's a little bit like a cross, and I'm going to move over to the top of this so that I can get PC1 in on this. So I'm going to select, can you see what I'm doing? I'm just dragging down, just selecting the bits that I need, and that is all I need. But I do need to make sure I've got PC1 in that screen grab at the very top left, and then let go of the mouse. Yeah, that then copies that into here, as you can kind of see, folks. We've got that into here. Yeah, and all I'm going to do here, just I'll slow down a bit, is I'm going to just select this tool. This is optional, you don't need to do this. I'm going to select this little circle and square, it's called shapes, like this. And I'm going to select that square shape, and I'm just going to show that that was the command that I used. Ping 192.168.1.5. Once I've done that, and again, as I said before, folks, if it's fiddly, you don't have to do it. You don't have to do this red square around it. You can leave it if it's too fiddly and messing around. Once we've done that, then we're going to see where my mouse is going over here. We're going to copy that. So it's beside that old floppy disk icon. Don't choose that one. We're not saving anything. We're going to copy this one right here. We're going to click on it. And then once we've clicked on that to copy it, I'm just going to minimize things, get these things out of the way. Then I'm going to go into this section here. Yeah. And I'm going to paste it in, Control V. Yeah, you can see it's popped up down the bottom here. Yeah. So that's the first screen grab that we've got. And then I'm going to just press the Enter key a couple of times here, because there's going to be some more screen grabs I'm going to get in there. So this is the first bit of evidence that we're showing folks that we're trying to ping, because it says test connectivity, PC1 to 2, PC2 to 3, PC3 to 4. Yeah, so this is failing. And so what you're going to do next, but before we do that, is everybody who's not on that list, is everybody so far okay? So far.
Sorry, do you need to do the boxing on the IP?
So it might be a good idea for us to kind of raise a hand if we're going to, because otherwise we're going to get kind of talking over one another. That might be helpful. So by all means, yeah. Salomon, yes.
Yeah, I opened the I end the task of the packet tracer. There were like 4 or 5 processes going on. So when I ended that one, everything is fine now with my teams restored, and I'm just taking screenshot, and then I will do the exercise offline, switch all the teams and everything. I will do it offline, when I don't have teams and everything. I've got I have issue with my main computer, so this is old computer I have got installed. Okay. So that was my issue. So it's like as soon as I launched the packet trace, everything, the CPU and everything, 100% system interrupt and everything. When so that was the problem I have. But now, once I shut down the packet tracer application, my computer, is stable now, and I can watch your presentation and take screenshot and everything. So I can do the exercise later.
Sure. Packet tracer takes up a ton of memory. I don't know what it is. I don't know why Cisco don't have something online. I think they're currently working on it. It would be better if they had an application that we could just log in and we do it online. It's all stupid that we've got to download this stuff on personal machines. It's all a little bit old-fashioned. All right. So keep me updated on what's kind of going on. If you need a bit of help later on, folks, then we can kind of do that.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Now that we've done this, folks, what we're going to do is I'm going to go over to PC2. You can see what we're doing here, folks. We're going to go over to PC2 because obviously we need to start fixing this. So click on PC2. Everyone okay so far? Choose desktop and go to IP configuration. If what we want to do, folks, is to run commands like ping, then we go to the command prompt. If what we want to do is to configure IP addresses and subnet masks and fix things, then we go to IP configuration for the moment. So choose desktop IP configuration. Don't forget, we've just clicked on PC2, which is this one down here. And now we're going to go into the IP address here, and we're going to type an IP address in. And the IP address is going to be the one down here, 192.168.1.5. So let's type it in. 192.168.1.5. 192.168.1.5. And if we click in the subnet mask field, it will automatically fill in those values for us. Yeah, and that's it. That's all we need to do for this one. So now what we're going to do, folks, we're going to try that again. We're going to try pinging from PC1 to PC2. This time it's going to work. So I'm going to close this window down. Just leave that there for a second so that you can see what we did. We clicked on PC2, this one here, went to the desktop menu on PC2, chose IP configuration. We saw that both the IP version 4 address was blank and the subnet mask was blank, and we filled it in. IP address version 4 was 192.168.1.5, and then we just clicked in this field here, the subnet mask field, and it filled it in for us. Done. We don't need to do anything else with that. Close it down, that little X over here. Now let's start pinging again from PC1 to PC2. So click on PC1 again. This should still be open, folks, and if it's not open, then you can go to a desktop, command prompt, and run that same command again. Now, you don't need to type it in again, folks. Just hit the up arrow on your keyboard. You know, you've got the up, down, left, and right arrow. Just press the up arrow like that, and that will repeat the last command that you typed in, and you hit enter. And you can see this time it's working. So now you can see the ICMP echo statistics down the bottom here, and it says received 4 packets. So PC2 received 4 packets of data from PC1 with 0% loss. So we were able to save 100% of that data. So this is what we're looking for, and this looks really good. So what we're going to do here, folks, is that I'm going to, so that I can get this here, folks, I don't know if you can see my screen, and this PC1 all together, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to hit the enter key a few times just to bring this thing up to the top of the page. Is that making sense? So I've got PC1 here, I've got my command that I used here, and my outputs there. That's all I want to capture. So again, I'm going to use the snipping tool, which I should still have, which is down here. You can see it's down here, folks, where my mouse is. I'm going to click on that. It's got the old stuff in it, which I'm not interested in. And all I'm going to do is just press this plus to create a new screenshot. So press this plus, or it might say new if you've got the old kind of snipping tool. So press the plus. You've got these crosshairs like this. Make sure that you get the PC1 in all of this. So right to the very edge, and that's all you need. That's it. Yeah, so we're going to go grab that. Don't take a lot of extra white space or dead space, folks. Let's go grab that. There we have it. And I'm not going to encircle anything. I'm just going to copy this with these two squares that overlay one another, the copy icon. Everyone see that where my mouse is? So just use that copy icon, just click on that. That then stores it in the buffer. Yeah, so just choose that copy icon. We're now going to go back to our document here and we'll see what we're doing. Everyone okay so far? And then we're going to paste that in. Quick pasting with the keyboard is Control V. Control V. There we have it. Yeah, we're going to do the annotation just a bit, folks. So we've been able to ping from PC1 to PC2, and here's the evidence for it. The first time we did it, it failed because PC2 wasn't set up, and that's what we want to put in our annotation. Yeah, we can't just say, there you go. We patched it. It wants to know what was it like before. Yeah, because you've had to do a little bit of maintenance work on that, folks. So now that we've done that, we've got to ping from PC2 to PC3 over here. So let's preempt it, folks. Let's have a quick look at PC3 just to make sure that it's got everything in place. So click on PC3 to make sure it's got its IP addresses and subnet masks and things like this. So click on that. Click. Once we click on it, we go to desktop. So click on that and choose desktop. Choose the desktop icon, option, and then move across to IP configuration over here on the left. So click on PC3, choose desktop, choose IP configuration, and you can see it's got IP addressing information in there. So that looks like it's absolutely okay. We can close this down. So just close down, folks. We can then choose PC4 down here. Click on PC4. Choose desktop. So click on PC4, which was previously PC0. Choose desktop, choose IP configuration, and you can see that's all good as well. So we don't need to worry. And what's interesting, folks, is that the people who created this network put the default gateway in. Well, we don't need the default gateway if what we're going to do is that we're going to communicate with devices that are plugged into the switch. Yeah, with this thing here. Yeah, we only need the default gateway when we are communicating with a totally different network. So these other devices are not going to be able to communicate with server because they don't have a default gateway set, but we've not been told to set it. So let's leave things as they are. Everything's good at the moment, and we'll cross that bridge again as we come to it. So we're ready to go, folks. We're now ready to ping from PC2, this one here, to PC3, this one here. Yeah. So click on PC2, choose desktop if it's not already showing, then choose the command prompt over here. So click on PC2, desktop, command prompt. Everyone okay so far? And then somebody tell me, what are we going to type there? Somebody tell me what we're going to type.
Ping.
192. Dot
Yeah.
Ping.
192.168.1.5.
192.168.1.5. No, dot one dot
No, it's 2.
2. Sorry, 1.2.
2.
There you go. That's it. Well done, folks. That's really good. So now we're pinging from this machine here to this machine here. So hit the enter key, and you'll see that that's pinging okay. We're going to. It's just a repeat and rinse, folks, or rinse and repeat. Go down to the snipping tool down here, which will still be open. Click on that plus, yeah, so that we can create a new snip. Click on the plus. Make sure that we have the PC2 in the window here and select it down to there. Keep it nice and neat. Don't do all of this. That's all. We don't need it. all we need to know is we've got PC2 in view and we have the IP address. Once we've done that, folks, again, we're going to choose the copy function here, or copy feature. So let's copy this one here. And down here, we're going to Control V to paste it in. Control V. There we go. So we've got 3 screen grabs at the moment. And then finally, folks, on this task, we are going to ping. Let's close this down. Once we've done this, folks, we can close this. We're going to ping from PC3 to PC4, formerly known as PC0. Let's just get rid of all these various things here. So now we're going to click on PC3. Click on PC3. Choose desktop. Choose command prompt. We're going to move this out of the way so that we can see the IP address. And this is the IP address that we're going to ping right here. So again, we're going to ping 192.168.1.3. Okay, so that's really, really good. So we've got all our data here, folks. A little bit later on, not now, because I don't want to overwhelm you. We'll talk a little bit about some of these little kind of symbols like the time to live, TTL, and all these various things, like an all-round trip. It's not required at the moment. So now that we've captured that, we're going to go to our our snipping tool again. So rinse and repeat, folks. And we can speed this process up again. We're going to do that, go grab that. Yeah. And once we've got it, make sure they get PC. We're going to copy that, bring up our document, paste it in. Yeah, so this is one of my documents. Sorry, I should be showing that. There it is. And down here, folks, just going to make a little bit of space, paste it in. Done. So now we've completed the first task. Ping from PC1 to PC2, ping from PC2 to 3, from 3 to 4. Now the annotation, folks, and this is something that you can do on your own. The annotation is an explanation of what you did. That's really all it is. So it's not asking you, and this is really important, it's not asking you to explain what TTL means. It's not asking you to explain what an all-round trip is. It's not asking you to compare and contrast the kind of the number of milliseconds between. Yeah, it's just asking you to describe what you did. So I opened up. Yeah, so kind of start you off, folks, with these kind of annotations. Very first thing that you can do. I'm not going to do it for you, but this is something that you can kind of do. You could say, first thing that I did is I clicked on PC1. I chose the desktop from the menu. I know it's really boring, but this is what they're looking for. I chose desktop from the menu. I chose the command prompt and I entered the IP address of PC2, which is 192.168.1.5, and press the enter key. And it came back with timeout for each one of those packets. I then decided to have a look at PC2 and discovered that it didn't have an IP address or subnet mask. And so I gave, this is it, you're just telling your story, you're just basically saying what you did, folks. That's what annotation is. That's what gets you your grade. Yeah. Is that making sense? What the expectation is, folks, there of the annotation in this case. Is that making sense? So you're just just describing what you did. That's what the annotation is. You've got all the evidence that's required for this.
Just to check, once we've done like PC1, do we repeat the whole thing? Then I clicked on PC2 and then did the desktop. So they want every time we did this.
Yeah, I mean, I can see what you say. I can see what, is that Mina talking? Sorry, I can't see who it is.
Yeah.
Getting familiar with kind of voices now. So yeah, Mina. So that would kind of make sense. But if it's becoming a little bit like, the kind of stuff that a child would write, then you could be a little bit more kind of creative with it. You could say, I repeated the same process for communication between PC2 and PC3. And
that's what I was thinking,
screen.
yeah.
Absolutely, you can do that. Absolutely, yes. So be a little bit kind of inventive, folks, and not just be kind of like, and I did this for PC2 and I opened up the desktop, and I don't do it that way. The first time you can, and then subsequently you can say, I repeated this process for PC2, pinging to PC3, and repeated the process again for PC3 to 4. That cuts down the amount of writing that you're doing as well. And that's absolutely perfect.
It seems very repetitive, saying the same thing over and over
again. Absolutely.
The other thing I could say is that I checked the IP addresses for PC3 and 4. They were all fine, so I didn't do that. So okay, yes, got it.
That's exactly it. So, folks, you could kind of do your annotation a little bit as if you were going to kind of explain to a manager. So the manager says, "Oh, by the way, tell me a little bit." So a manager comes up to Mina, and Mina, I can see that you've done all this work and you've configured and you've pinged. Just tell us a little bit about what you did. And Mina's going to say, "Yeah, sure." I clicked on PC1, and I went to the desktop, and I went to the command prompt, and I typed in the command ping 192.168.1.5, which is the IP address of PC2. And I noticed that all of those all those packets failed. And so I then decided you're just telling a story, folks. That's really what you're doing. That's going to get you top grade with your annotation. Is everyone okay with what's required for the annotation, folks? A little explanation of what you're doing. And as Mina says, be a little bit inventive and creative so that you're not repeating it a little bit like the way a child would, who's repeating exactly the same words. Okay, now that we've done that bit, we are moving forward, folks. This bit here, step 2, you're not going to believe how incredibly easy that is. Unbelievably easy that is to do. And so it says, configure a local username on server 2. So this is really important, folks. Bear with me for a second. I promise you, after we've done this task, we'll get a little tea break. This won't take long, so I'm just going to put the magnifier on because I'm very much aware that this is very, very small, that you might be looking at this. Yeah, and I promise you, folks, those of us who are having problems, please don't be annoyed with me or cross with me. I promise we will, even if it means having to do this after 5 o'clock, we'll do it. We'll do it. So don't worry about, don't think, oh my God, I'm going to get behind. You're not. We're definitely going to sort this out. Yeah. So this task here, folks, is asking us to configure a local username on server 2. So we've got to go to the server, and it says configure a username of admin1, and we've got to be very, very careful that it's called admin1, yeah, with a secret password of admin1 PA55. Now this is absolutely vital, folks, because if we don't get those credentials correctly input onto the server, when we come onto task 3, which means we've got to write some scripts, it's going to all fail, and we're not then going to be able to do step 4. So everything thereon is going to fail. And guess what? Guess what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to start all over again. You're going to have to delete that network, download the network again, and start all over, because you can't backtrack. You can't go, oh, by the way, I'd like to change that admin password. You can't do it, especially when we've got down to this part here. So we've got to be very, very vigilant about what we're doing with this thing here, because when we're messing around with servers and routers, the administrator is going to be very deliberate in what he or she does. So let's do this bit, folks, because it's really easy. So what we're going to do here, here's the network. Sorry, I'm going to take the magnifier off just for the moment, and I'll go slowly again. So we're going to go to our server here, folks. We're going to go to our server over here, and we're going to click on the server because it's asked us to configure a local username on server 2. So click on the server like this. And then we're going to choose, not desktop this time, we're going to choose services from the menu. Choose services from the menu. So click on services like this. Because it's asking us to configure a local username on the server 2, then we're going to choose A from these services. So scroll down or move down to AAA. This one here, folks, AAA. We're going to choose that. And because it's asked us to configure a username of admin1 with a secret password of admin1 PA55, then we're going to choose down here